Hi Aries, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your September 2021 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And for those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, hit the Celtic Cross spread as always, and also pulled an Oracle card and a Mudra card for you guys. We're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus will be as far as that goes. Alright, okay, so we have the North Node that's actually in Gemini right now. That's your third house communication, short distance travel, siblings. Alright, we also have the ninth house, which is Sagittarius, and the South Node is in there, so we do see the opposition. And we have Scorpio, so that's your eighth house of intimacy, death, rebirth, investments. So we'll keep those in mind as we go through the main spread. Alright. In the main situation position, we have the Two of Wands. So this is actually Aries energy right here. Could just be saying that you guys are representing, at least wanting to have a new start in a certain area of life. Could be almost anything, of course, especially given the fact that we did just see third house and ninth house energy come up for you guys in the dice. This could certainly be around travel, or at least communication and expansion around that as well. See if anything else comes to mind with this. That's about it. Alright, in the challenger obstacle position, we have the Queen of Swords. So this is Libra energy here. And it's interesting because what this could be saying, seeing those two cards come out together, there's going to be tons of energy in Libra in September. We're going to have Mars get there around the middle of the month, and of course that's your ruler. Venus will be there for a bit. Mercury's going to be there pretty much the whole month and go retrograde. Of course, toward the end of the month, we're going to have the Sun move in there too. So a lot of Libra energy. So what this could just be saying is there might actually be a pull that you're feeling to collaborate with others. So it could just be one of those things, that push-pull dynamic, where here it looks like a bit more of a desire for a solo journey, right? We see he's holding on to the one wand even though there's another one behind him. And then with this coming up in the challenge position, I could just see this as this saying that there's a pull for you guys to partner up this month, or at least to see things from the perspective of others this month. Alright, in foundation position, we have the Eight of Wands, Sagittarius energy, Five of Pentacles, Taurus energy, and Four of Wands, Aries energy. So, two cards for your sign already in the mix. We see the Sagittarius energy, which, like I said, came up in your dice as well. Could just be saying that you guys might be looking at things from a higher perspective. However weird this may sound, I feel like this could even be you guys are looking at your beliefs around traditional masculine versus traditional feminine, right? And maybe reevaluating if those are still true for you now. But with this Taurus energy here, it could just be pointing to the way I'm seeing this is almost a less is more approach, because we see the Eight Wands there, and it could just be saying that the warning there is that could lead you to a type of burnout, right? I mean, sometimes this could even point to some kind of physical ailments, and then we see the Four Wands, and obviously the vibe is much better there, right? So even though you would think 8 is more than 4, and that would be a good thing, right? With this right in the middle, could just be saying that there could be a need to pare things down a little bit. Maybe even if you guys are feeling overwhelmed too, again, to partner up in that regard as well. And that could just be saying that could improve the situation. Alright. In the past position, we have the High Priestess, which I usually view as Pisces energy, and we have Justice, so Libra energy here too. The way I'm seeing these two cards come out together, it could just be saying that you were trying to find that balance between intuition and intellect, right? And sometimes that's easier said than done. You guys have had Neptune in your 12th house for a long time, so you could have just been getting a lot of intuitive insights. Jupiter even hopped in there for a bit too, so that probably just increased things even more. But I feel like it's one of those things where you're trying to integrate that, right? Like you're getting that information, and you're saying to yourself, okay, I keep getting these signs, these signals, but what does it actually mean in a more practical sense, right? So I feel like that's what you guys have been dealing with in the past. All right. In the present position, we have the King of Cups. So, to me, like I was saying, if this could point to a situation where you're grappling with how you define masculine versus feminine, right? I could almost see this as a continuation of that, where you might feel more of an emotional type of energy coming up in you, but then at the same time, not necessarily feeling comfortable expressing that, right? So that could be why we're seeing this King of Cups energy here. And then we actually see the Queen of Swords kind of pointing right in their direction too, right? So this could be saying that that is the challenge for you guys, where maybe you're starting to feel more emotions, but at the same time, not too comfortable knowing how to express them. So that's what I'm seeing there. If that's the case, I will say we're going to have Venus move into Scorpio around the middle of September. That might actually help with things. See what else comes to mind with this. And that could just be saying as well, if you're looking for expansion, because like I did mention, we do see, of course, the Scorpio came up in your dice as well, so there's certainly some kind of focus there, but this is around investments as well. It could just be saying, you might have to rely a little bit more on what intuitive hits you're getting around that too. So, maybe it won't make sense on paper to think, oh, I'm going to invest in this type of thing, but if you keep getting hits about that, something keeps pulling you in that direction, maybe there's a reason for it, All right, in the near future position, we have the Eight of Cups, Pisces energy again, and the Page of Swords. So, yeah, it's interesting again, because I almost see this as pointing to emotions, right? The Eight of Cups there, and walking away from them rather than actually expressing them. And then with that Page of Swords energy there, I feel like that points to, again, like I said, that feeling of discomfort around expressing emotions. And that could be your primary reason for doing so, So it could just be one of those things where you've had feelings kind of welling up in yourselves for a while, and just, haven't really just felt comfortable expressing it. Now, I will say, seeing this in the near future position with the moon there as well, you guys will be having a full moon in Pisces, which is your 12th house, during the month of September. So that could really bring things to the surface then, too. All right, the position of your influence on the situation, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So this is great to see this come up in your influence in the situation, because it definitely says that you do have a lot of control on how the situation turns out. This is Jupiter energy here. Like I said, it was in your 12th house briefly, and now it's back in your house of friendships, groups, hopes, and wishes. So that might be the key too, just exploring a little bit more with your friendships, right? Maybe just being a bit more expressive with them about what's going on in your mind. That could actually be the key for helping you guys feeling a bit more open too. Let's see what else comes to mind with this. And this could just be one of those things that it might take until we get into Scorpio season, which would be in October, for you guys to feel a bit more comfortable with all that. But that's what I'm seeing there. And I will say, actually, at the time of recording this, even though this is a September reading, at the time of recording this, we're still in the Leo season, and we haven't had that second full moon in Aquarius yet. But when that second full moon does happen, it's going to be pretty close to Jupiter. So watch out for that, too, as a timeline where things might expand for you a little bit more in that area. All right, in the environment position, we have the Nine of Swords. So at first glance, I feel like this could represent another person, but as I've been talking through the cards here, I feel like this might actually point more to your energy, which is interesting. Because like I said, when I was laying the cards out at first, I was like, okay, this is another person. But now, as we've been talking through the spread, seems more likely to be your energy, actually. And interestingly enough, because we did see the North Node come up as one of the energies for you too, and that's in your third house communication. So like I said, it looks like there just might be a struggle around communication for you guys, expressing what you really feel, which might sound weird, right? Because a lot of people think Aries are very expressive, generally speaking. But maybe with that North Node moving through your house communication, you might have felt a bit more restricted in what you felt comfortable saying too. So that could be a part of it. And that transit is coming up to close to the conclusion anyway. So that could be part of what you're feeling there too. Let's see if anything else comes to mind with this. This can represent another person too, so another way I could see this playing out, it seems less likely, but I will mention it because, like I said, initially I thought this might have been another person's energy. This could also be a situation where you're dealing with someone else who's very closed off and not expressive, and this could just be saying that, you're with that walking away energy, the Wheel of Fortune saying, okay, well, I'm ready to move on, right? Maybe you feel like, okay, I'm not really getting anything from this person, so I can't really, work with them because they're not expressing to me what's going on. Could just be saying that they're really wrapped up with a lot of anxiety right now too. So going back to what I was saying there, maybe looking at the perspective of others, that might be key for you guys this month too, to understand, okay, maybe they have a lot going on, and try not to take it as personally, especially with the fact that we're going to have that Mercury retrograde in your opposite sign too. So that could definitely bring some of that energy up. All right. In the hopes or fears position, we have the Queen of Cups, Cancer energy, Temperance in reverse, which is Sag energy, Ace of Wands reversed, and the World reversed. So yeah, I feel like this could definitely be a big lesson for you. So like I said, whether it's around your struggles with, okay, what's, masculine versus feminine energy, incorporating the two, right? I feel like this is saying, again, this could be pointing to maybe holding back emotions, and with the Temperance in reverse, could just be saying that that's actually keeping you a bit out of balance, and maybe preventing some new starts for you guys, and also saying that there's a lesson to be learned there before you could reach that cycle of completion. So I do feel like you guys are close, given that we do see the Wheel of Fortune energy with the fixed energies there, and we also see the fixed energies in this card as well. So I feel like it's saying you're close, but it might take a little bit before you finally get to that point. And like I said, for given that that's coming up for me, it could just be pointing to the significance of Scorpio season, and that might even be why the dice came up for you too. So maybe as we work through the Mercury retrograde that I mentioned in your opposite sign, that might help bring some of those things to the surface. By the time we actually get to Scorpio season in October, you might feel like you finally learned that lesson and were able to integrate it. All right. And in the outcome position, we have the Two of Swords and Judgment. So, excuse me, this is Libra energy here. And again, I get that vibe, right? She has the back turned on the water, a symbol of emotions, the moon, symbol of emotions, blindfold on, right? Not even wanting to see things, just rely strictly on the intellect, arms crossed over the heart. And the Judgment card could just be saying that, this is going to be coming up for you guys. And it could even be pointing to possibly some wounding around your feminine side of your energy, too, given that we do see that horn blowing right toward the feminine energy in the card. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And like I said, for some of you, this could just be the retrograde that might bring it up, or just a ton of energy that's in Libra in September, like that I've already covered. Or this could be something that takes more until we get into Scorpio season. All right, bottom of the deck, we have the Tower. And yeah, it's almost a repetitive theme for me here too, because again, I'm seeing this as like, maybe your perception around masculine versus feminine energy is undergoing some kind of rework, and it can come through as a sudden insight for you, but I'm not necessarily getting that as much. I feel like this is something you've been trying to figure out for a while, but maybe the actual moment where it clicks is going to come through this month. So be on the lookout for that. Good thing is underneath that we have the Three of Wands. So, I feel like you'll dust yourselves off pretty quickly, whatever the case may be with that. All right, moving on to your Oracle card, we have Observer. There's the artwork, and the number is 49. So could be pointing to you guys paying attention to the lunar cycles this month. Like I said, you are going to have that full moon in your 12th house. There's still a second full moon coming up in Aquarius at the time I'm recording this, so definitely watch out for those. All right, so we have essential meaning says perspective, objectivity, neutral observation from a distance. The Oracle's message: most people see the world through a personal lens. They closely identify with their feelings and experiences, so much so that they come to believe that these are the only reality. There are times when you need distance in order to gain perspective and understand your circumstances from a more neutral vantage point. Now is one of those times in your life. This is a perfect moment for you to begin to do some exploring. Instead of only considering yourself, consider what you need to understand about the conditions, people, culture, and environment you're engaged with now. You'll be so happy you did. Illumination is the miracle you seek and will indeed find. Yeah, definitely a pretty positive message there and supportive of some of the things that we already covered, so hopefully that resonated with you. The relationship message says, sometimes you just can't see the forest for the trees in your way. Feelings can get all jumbled up, and often you hear one thing when a person says another. It can be like an echo of an unresolved past experience dubbed over your conversation. Take time out before you react. It's likely the other person has no idea how his or her words have affected you. Take a few steps back and lend understanding to the situation. Have faith in your connection and trust that you can come together. Take higher ground now and cultivate curiosity about what you observe in yourself and others and in the landscape. You will find things much improved sooner than you know. So yeah, reading that message definitely sounds like a good thing to keep in mind. Like I said, especially given that you will have Mercury retrograde in your opposite side of partnerships and relationships. So hopefully that resonates with you too. And the prosperity message says it's an advantageous time for you to get some distance from what you're doing and see your work and your projects from a different perspective. The trick is to connect to the essence of your goals and aspirations while letting the form and timing be dictated by spirit. You may be too personally attached to an outcome and unable to see a miracle because it's not turning out exactly as you planned. Trust the spirit. The perfect version of your abundance is right in front of you. Remain neutral and curious and watch the miracle unfold. So definitely an interesting message there. And that actually made me think a bit about the fact of what we were saying where, you guys have the South Node in your ninth house and then the North Node in your third house. So it could just be saying, maybe you're focusing too much on the big grand vision where the key to what you're looking for is right in front of you with that third house energy there, So hopefully that resonated with you too. All right. And lastly, we have a mudra for you guys, and it's the Anjali mudra. There's the mudra there, and the keyword for it is reverence. All right. And there's the info on it if you want to pause it or take a screenshot to read what it has to say. But it says, calming and centering facilitates connection to the heart and center channel, evokes feelings of humility, reverence, and devotion. So if you feel like that's something that would be beneficial for you guys, I will put the name of the mudra in the description video as always. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.